So this is how we can use a slot with this slot keyword here, with the slot component kind of. It's important to understand where the code we're passing in here is compiled though. So let's check this, for example, with the style. If I set a style of styling my h1 tag here to have a red color, and keep in mind we're passing an h2 tag actually, okay, so let's style h2. Let's see, do you think this will change the styling? It does. So the styling of that component is used here. So the child component styling is applied to the data being passed in from outside. That's the first key takeaway. So if I remove this here and put it in the style tags here of the parent, so that I set the color to red there and set this also to scoped, do you think it will now work too? No. So that's the key takeaway, as I said. The styling of the child applies. So here I would have to set my h2 style in the child to color the passed in h2 tags. So even though the h2 tag is not written in this template, but in the parents template, we do pass it here in the end, so that is where it is styled, like this. There is a second important thing to keep in mind, and that works exactly the other way around. Let's say the quote here would be some dynamic content. So in the view instance here, we would have our data, function it is, which returns the actual data object. And in this data object, we would have our quote title, which simply is a string saying the quote. And then up here, we want to interpolate this. So here we output quote title. Do you think this will work? Let's have a look. Actually, it works. So for compiling the template, which means rendering any kind of Vue.js operation we're doing here, the styling is something different. But for anything else, the component where you actually have the code in the template will be the one doing the changes. So here the app component or the app root instance of Vue.js here is the one doing the changes, because even though we pass it to the child component, it is in this component's template that we use it in the first place. Yes, it gets passed down, but still it's written in this component's template. So here is where we can use any Vue.js syntax we know, including the if, the for, anything. So that's the difference. The styling is set up on the child component. Everything else is handled on the parent component. And this scope of compilation compared to the styling scope is important to keep in mind.